And that was when the people came to town with their horse and buggy. You tied it up, and put the reins in this. And of course, I remember, because of all the horses, there was plenty of manure in the street. You had to be careful where you walked. And you'd get a shock to see a horse and buggy pull up there today. And the other thing I remember, one of the social events on a Saturday night, this is before television came, people that mum would dress us up, drive uptown, and you just park nose into the footpath, and you wouldn't get out of the car. Like, you'd see someone going, "Oh, g'day, Bill," and Bill would come over and have a talk, and they'd see you and come and have a talk, but you stayed in the car. There were cars all parked probably for a couple of hours. That was. I'm going a bit ahead now. When the war came, they had those big concrete air raid cellars out in the middle of the street. Post office down the wall of Bundaberg Street. And I eventually knocked down the taxis used to park in there. And of course all the electric light poles were in the middle of the street. And people don't realise that one of those air raid cellars still exists today around behind the Department of Main Roads. They use it as a storage. I don't know whether they moved it or built one, but it's there. And it's in behind. You can't see it unless you go. You've got to get permission from Main Roads. They keep storage in there. Oh, it was just, it was just cement walls, and I think they had just a seat, on either side. And the doorway wasn't sealed up, but there was concrete there coming in, like that. So if a bomb was dropped, it hit this part on the door. Like today, they've got also a nuclear weapon, so they'd probably blow it apart. But during the war, it'd be machine guns or small bombs. And this 3-foot wall probably wouldn't have been affected by it. And I don't think there's anything like ventilation except what was coming through the door. Oh, yes, we even, where we lived, after we moved from this house up to where I live now in Walker Street, that was 1938. We built our own air raid cellar in the backyard, myself and my 2 brothers. And if a bomb hit it, it'd blow it to smithereens. All it was, we had to dig a trench, big enough to stand in. And we found all sorts of bits of pine and hardwood and stacked them up, made a wall out of it. And we had rusty galvanised laying over the top. Some people did go to the trouble of making a proper air raid cellar with steps and supplies down there, tins of groceries and things. But the war got close, the Japanese bombed Darwin, and then they got as far as the Coral Sea, and if the Americans hadn't stopped them, God knows what, we'd be run by the Japanese now maybe, or we would have been taken over. My father's garage, besides all this petrol outside, he started to import American cars, they were quite to own a car was pretty good. There were cars like Hudson Terraplanes, Dodges, Buick, Chrysler Soto, ones you don't see now. And so people eventually got rid of their horse and buggies and buy one of these cars. And then of course when the war came, petrol was scarce, they had to have gas burners on the back.